welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Belle. I'm Eve.
We're covering Beth up with some beautiful flowers we got this week from a neighbor for my dad and our dad. And we want to thank everyone for the beautiful words and well wishes and prayers that you guys all expressed to us.
It's the best community, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We have had a very rough couple of weeks, and thanks for being back with us. And we hope to make some entertaining videos in the future, and hope this is the beginning of our new chapter. We're at my house tonight, we needed a change of venue just for a little bit. But I wanted to show those pretty flowers. Aren't they pretty? Yeah, I'll move them. I'll move them off. You know what? I'll put them behind us. If they make you sneeze, let me know, Eve, because they're a little bit on the flowery side.
Yeah, well,
How's that? That's good.
everything's making me sneeze.
I know.
It's been the wind was blowing.
When I put those up there, I was, working around the table, and I was like, "Ooh, those are strong." Okay, so I'm going first. Hold on, I'm messing my phone up. Some time ago, I started this sweater for Hannah, and this is how far I've gotten with all my, all my doctor/hospital/bus knitting lately. It's getting there, little by little. This is the bottom rib, and so this is the body of the sweater. What's nice about making a sweater this way is you make the boring part first, and then you have the interesting part with the sleeves and the decreases and everything. So I imagine that'll go faster. But for right now, I'm just trying to be patient and work on this. You dropping things?
All my projects fell off.
Oh no!
No.
I should have gotten you a project chair on that side. Anyway, knocking other stuff down.
So we got crap on it.
So anyway, here's my Hannah sweater. I talked with her about it. She was able to come home for a little while, and I talked with her about it. And so this pattern also has something called a turtle to go. The book that I'm making this out of, this is from the Sweater Workshop by Jacqueline Fee, and she has a pattern for something called a turtle to go. So you make a regular sweater with a crew neck like this, and then it has a pattern for a close-fitting, I guess you would call it a cowl, that you can fold over and wear like a turtleneck. And because of this striping yarn, it will blend right in. And she was very excited about that. She's like, yeah, because if you play the violin, you will want to wear a turtleneck, but then you want to take it off when you play. So she thought that was a cool idea. And I think I'll have plenty of yarn. I have this ball and two more like it, two more full ones. So I thought I could make her that turtle to go, maybe a hat, maybe some fingerless gloves or something. Just make her a whole set. So it's so beautiful. I love the way it stripes. The yarn does all the work. It looks like you worked really hard and you just knit in the round, which is really nice. And the other big news was that the much anticipated Share and Air mystery knit along started. We just today downloaded Clue 4. I am still finishing Clue 3, but here is what I call my Symphony Shawl, because I want to wear it to symphony concerts. And I've shown you the yarn before, but that's how it's knitting up, just like I imagined it. So this the black and gray and the variegated. I haven't put this purple in yet, but that's coming soon. And it's exactly how I wanted it. It's nice and dark and pretty. And it hasn't been bad knitting with the black yarn. I just keep I have one of those neck lights on it. And it's been real nice. It's coming out. I think it's coming out really beautifully. I'm very excited about it. So there is that. And what's fun about this pattern is that she's basically written like a whole story. And so the first 3 pages is just solid, funny story writing about Sharon from Security, the cat. And she's chasing down I can't think of his name now. Chad the Mongolian death worm, I think is what he is. He's like a caterpillar, and he's all over the world. It's all this espionage. It's very silly and very fun and very distracting, and it's great. So you read the story for a while, and then you have a page of the knitting, and it's good knitting. I was going gangbusters, but I'm a week behind. But I don't care. And it's been so nice. That is a very nice community. I told them what happened with Dad, and they were all so supportive. It's so sweet. I was like, because they're talking about taking flights. You know, you go from Cairo to New Zealand, and then you know somewhere else, and talking about catching flights, and the patterns have like little tickets, and you have stamps for your passport. And she had this passport that you make that you can make out of paper. And so I got on there and I said my flight's been canceled because of Dad and everything, and they were all so supportive and nice that it was really, really neat.
That was the one thing is that when we were sharing, when Dad got sick, honestly we thought he was going to come home and we'd have him for a long time. So that's why Beth said, "Oh, he should be home and we'll be back." But when he got sick, y'all were so supportive, you know, prayers for him. And then when I posted that Dad had passed away, we had so many beautiful
outpouring of his support and everything. It's really been really nice. So thank you for that. The third thing I have, look at this.
I was looking at that. Yeah.
So this is the beginning of my, I think I talked about this book.
Is that the same yarn that you used on that little sweater?
The rainbow part is. This yarn I bought to make that sweater, and then I changed my mind and made it out of the rainbow. And so I was going to knit this is that baby surprise jacket book that I talked about a couple weeks ago. Well, a month ago. I don't even know when it was. Where you knit this, I'm trying to find a picture. I think I posted it the last time we made a video. I posted a picture of this flat piece of knitting that you make, and then you fold it up and it becomes a jacket. It becomes a little jacket like that. And so I wanted to learn one because I think I showed this last time. See, this one is a full-size, like, men's sweater, and Mark really liked that. And he's like, I would like one of those, remember? And so I said, all right, well, I'll learn how to make this thing with this baby yarn. And I looked all over, and I was looking for this rainbow. Where is it? It's in here. I knew I had a little bit of the rainbow left. And so I was looking for it because I didn't know if I had enough, and I couldn't find it because I had stashed it in that little table by my recliner. It has a little door, and some night, I guess to hide it from the cats, I stuck it in there. And so I started it with this coral color because I kind of think this is cool. It's not exactly pink, but it's not red, and so I kind of liked it. It's like a coral. It matches your shirt almost, Eve. No, that's more magenta.
This is pink. Yeah.
But I kind of like this color, and I really like the way it's knitting up. Yeah. It looks almost orange, almost red, almost pink. So I was knitting along, and then I happened to open that door looking for something else, and I was like, oh, the rainbow yarn. So one of the things you can do in this jacket is add stripes. So I put in a couple of stripes of the rainbow, and I'll put some in later as well.
It matches beautifully.
And it matches really well. There is a color of this yarn right here. See, that is actually part of the rainbow yarn, and it looks the same. Yeah. And so what this does is, this is a weird little piece of knitting, and you just do decreases and increases, and then it turns into this piece. So this is actually the top of the sweater, and when it's done, is
this the baby sweater?
This is the baby sweater. You fold it like this. See, this is the sleeve, and this is the back. So eventually, this would be the front with the sleeves, and this is the back. It
is already starting to look like a sweater.
Yeah. So, but it's bizarre.
Oh,
The whole thing is kind of bizarre. And the way that Elizabeth Zimmerman, who invented this, writes the pattern, is kind of like written in prose, you know, where she's like, okay, do this for this many ridges, and then you know, look what you're doing. You're doing this, and then keep doing that until, you know, and that's hard for me. I don't know. I want it spelled out, but her daughter is the one who made this book, and she took her mother's pattern and made a line by line instructions, which is what I need. Just because this is too, the way it's written, like after 3 ridges, do this, and like now knit up 10 stitches from the side, 10 ridge piece, just knitted, you know, it's just kind of like
Very wordy.
very wordy, but also I don't know. I'm not. I just like, okay, row 46, do this. Row 47, do this. You know.
When I worked at Family Life, one of the things I did a lot of times, because we get emails from other departments that said, you know what, blah 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 blah. 10 years ago we started do blah, and I was like, we don't need to know that. We just need step 1, do this. Step 2, do that.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah, and so her daughter redid the pattern this way. I'm trying to read both so that I can appreciate how Elizabeth Zimmerman did things, but I'm referring to this the most. But I'm enjoying it. It's sort of, so the Sharon shawl is like my really brainy, have to think about it knitting, and then Hannah's sweater is I don't have to think at all. I just sit there, which has helped this week, where you know you don't have to think, you just start doing. And then this is sort of in the middle, like it's medium thought, and it's fun and different. So I'm going to send this to my friend Amanda. Her baby's 5 months old, and so I think this will be good. It seems big to me.
Well, she can grow into
Babies
it.
grow.
No, I know, but I think it's supposed to be like kind of a young size, but it seems like maybe it's big. Anyway, so yeah, if it's too big for her, she'll grow into it. If it's too small, maybe she knows someone she could pass it on to. I don't really. It's an experiment for me, so I'm just kind of doing that. Oh, and the other big news is that at Tempe Yarn and Fiber, they are having a thing with what are they called? Wool Hollow Tunis, who's the Sonia, my egg lady and my wool lady. She put together this incredible package. She's been wanting to do it for years and years and years, and she finally, I'm going to pull it up on Instagram so I can read exactly what it is. Hold on. It's but it's called Spin the Alphabet, and it is, see, she said, for 3 years I've been collecting fleece of sheep breeds to be able to spin the alphabet with a breed representing each letter. So from A to Z, there is opportunity to spin fiber from 15 countries and 6 continents. Antarctica has no sheep, or I would have included it too. And so you can pre-order
you could use penguin fur.
It's
They
all
have
sheep.
feathers.
I know.
It's all sheep. So I'm gonna do some screenshots of this. So look at the pin, and and here's the bag. Isn't that beautiful? So
Is it a sheep?
It's a sheep with a spinning wheel and the alphabet, and it says spin the alphabet. It's a beautiful black bag, and then 26 things of fiber. So I pre-ordered it, and oh yeah, you went with me that day. I pre-ordered it, and it comes on October 1st. They're having a big spin thing on October 1st, and guess who won't be able to be there? Because I'm going fishing. Lord willing, I'm going fishing. So, but anyway, so that's exciting, and it was a lot of money. And my very sweet husband said, "Go ahead." But first he said, "Don't you have a lot of that already?" I'm like, "Yes, but this is different. It's different." So he's so sweet. He let me. He was like, "Yeah, go ahead." So that is exciting. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because they're like, "Do you want to spin something made out of your name? Like you could, you do the NAOMI, all those sheep and make something with it, or, or spin, from spin it by continent or spin it by country, or whatever, so it's a kind of interesting ideas to think about. Like I thought, do I want to just try to spin it all in one long yarn, or do I want to spin it all just separately and then knit it together? I don't know. So, but I have some time to think about that, a month or so. And so anyway, that is me for as far as projects go. I just have these 3 things I'm focusing on right now. I have 1,000 projects in my room that I could pull out, but for right now, that's what I'm doing. So that's me. Are you going next, Beth?
Yeah.
Or are you going, Eve?
I'll go because I have less stuff than Beth.
Yeah, and I don't have. Did I put my scissors?
I have scissors if you need them.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Normally I do, but I think mine are on my table way over there. Cause
I didn't bring the bag that has scissors in it. While we
I brought
worry
it,
about
but-
scissors, I'm going to talk for a minute.
go ahead. Do you want me to go get some? They're right
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah,
All right.
because I don't.
All right, Eve, you talk then. You go next.
So,
I'll find
Oh,
out.
here, I got it right. Sorry.
There's not a light over our head, by the way. That's a reflection of that light. I just realized it looks like there's a light outside or something weird.
So, for August cross stitch camp, I was working on Little Bee Thimble Box, Noteworthy Needle.
Emphasis on the word little.
It's so tiny.
It comes with a little bamboo box and instructions on wrapping it around there. And so I fully finished it, and I have a picture that I can put here. I was going to post it on Instagram today, and do you know what I did instead?
Slept.
That's what I've been doing a lot of. Anyway,
Sometimes you gotta sleep.
so, well, apparently I'm not sleeping at night. I don't know. So,
It's so
the little
cute.
lid comes off and all that, and I don't know how good a job I did on fully finishing it, but
I think let me see it again. I looked at it when she got here. It's
but
adorable.
there's that.
I don't know how you even saw the stitches.
Well, that's just 32 count Lugana.
It just looks so little.
But once you have it put in that shape, you're like, what did I do here? But it's not, it's actually bigger than the little mouse I did last August.
That mouse was insane.
I saw another Just Nan's, it was a mouse on what, Beth? What was it? On a little can, a little metal can. And it was a kit that came with a little
So
metal can and all, and I'm like, oh, I want that! But I didn't want to pay for it because it was not cheap. Because it comes with all the stuff, you know?
Yeah. Was it hard to make the box?
No, the box is, you just snap it together.
It's like tongue and groove kind of thing.
Yeah, see that.
Nice.
And the stitching is just, you just slide it up after you make the little tube. You just slide it up over the box. But I couldn't get the top row of black stitches because as I'm sliding it up, the black row is going like that. So I tried to fix it, and I just said, you know what?
It looks beautiful.
It's good enough.
It's really pretty.
It's cute.
And then,
So you're supposed to put your thimbles in there?
yeah, except I don't have a thimble.
I have 3.
No,
I don't want it. I'm just saying I have a thimble. If you want a thimble,
no, I don't want a thimble.
you want a symbol of a thimble? A thimble of a symbol? A thimble with a symbol? Is it a symbolic thimble? A symbolic thimble box?
The vessel with the pestle.
The flag with the dragon. It's a brood that is true.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so I fully finished this.
That's cute.
This was one of my WIP-GO projects, and I went ahead and finished it. And I made it, it's a, what's it called? So that I can take this off, and I don't have it stuffed properly. I just got some stuff and just stuck it in there. So when I make a pillow to put inside this pillow, it'll be...
It's like a pillowcase.
It's like a pillowcase. It's like a sham.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called. But anyway,
Like an envelope, envelope.
I don't know. There's
That's
a
what you
name for
called it,
them.
something.
If you know what the name is called,
Yeah, put it in the comments.
So it's a little loose now, but when I didn't make the pillow to go inside because it was all I could do to make this. I started fully finishing this right as Dad was going into the hospital. And so I just left it sit there for a while, and I went back and I'm like, everything is crooked.
Oh no.
What's the pattern? What's the pattern?
Twin Peak Primitives Black Halloween series. And this is one of those. Anyway, I was like, why is everything crooked? And it's still a little on the crooked side, and the little, whatever this stuff is called, this trim, it's not poking out the same everywhere, even though I pinned it so that it would. And I just said, you know what, that's good enough. So those are my 2 FFOs. And then I have remember I was working on the WIP-GO underwater world, and I didn't like any of the fabrics I was putting it on with the threads and all that. And I was like, I'm either going to have to choose different fabrics that these threads work on. She has a very pale sense for her threads. And so the dark fabric, it just, to me, it looked like it was clashing the blue and all that. I'm like, I am not going to put all that work into it if I'm not going to like it when it's done. So I thought, I'm going to wait and have some better fabric to put it on. So I did it so much time that I thought, well, it was a new start. And so I said, I'll do a different new start to finish out the days. It's not UFO'd forever. It's a UFO for now. So the pillow on here, I knew I wanted to do it. I had the fabric still from doing the berry, so I only worked on it a couple of days just to finish out the WIP-GO, and I will finish it eventually, but I'm doing other things right now. So that was another new start for me. And my corner of the table is just not big enough. Sorry. So I was working still on this autumn berry. There's thread everywhere. I apologize. But I took out the A and started putting it back in because as I was starting the words underneath here, I was like, why is the gap in between the U and the A so big?
I don't know. And
I was like, I should just leave it. And then I said, I'm just going to make the A correct. There was 1 stitch off. But then it still is, the gap is still too big, but by less now. And I'm going to leave the rest of it. Because some of the, I'm really good at stitching the stuff in the wrong place. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now.
One of my colleagues told another one of my colleagues, it's your fatal flaw. about this thing she just kept doing on all these orders. She's like, oh, I keep doing that. And he goes, it's your one fatal flaw.
There was something I did where I just the more things I corrected, the more mistakes I found.
No.
So I'm going to keep plugging away at this.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry.
Never mind. It's the flowers.
I think actually it was the storm that blew through.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot of wind and we had to go out in that. So we're not used to rain being outside. Beth got to use her umbrella.
Falling
she was
out
so
of the
happy.
sky.
So when Dad was really sick, I picked this up to work on it and I just couldn't do it. And I almost said, you know what, I'm not doing any more of the berry SAL. I'm just not going to do it. And then a few days later, we were going to the attic I guess it was the day after Dad passed. We were going to the attic just because that we're happy at the attic, and we needed to do something for ourselves that was not sad. And on the way there, I was like, I'm enjoying the berry SAL. I like making them. I just don't feel like working on it right now. So I will continue to work on it. So I picked it up again a couple days ago and, did some work on it. And I'm behind what I wanted to be, and you know what? So what? So while I was at the attic, I ordered the winter ones.
Ooh, I want to see those. I can't wait. I
also ordered the autumn of those basket, the seasonal baskets by Hands-On Design. I haven't finished the other 2 summer ones, but I looked at the fall ones. I'm like, those are so beautiful. And then I thought about it. I'm like,
are those the little polo things? Oh.
And they're so pretty.
Yeah, I saw somebody's floss tube that had the fall ones on there.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
So
then I tried to find it to bring it, but I bought some stuff at Hobby Lobby, and one of the things I bought was some red. It's Murano Crochet like this. I got this at Hobby Lobby. And
it's like a dark red?
It's a rusty red.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. But it's very fall to me. And these are supposed to be, like this berry that I'm working on is supposed to be on this brownish tan fabric. What did you use? A 36 count Heartland linen. And one is sand and another one is natural. Well, they have very colorful yeah, threads
Colorful.
that are very fall. But the more I thought about it, I love the way this is looking on this fabric. Now, it's very subtle. When I do this, you can't really see it. But up close, it's very visible.
Oh, I think it's beautiful. Yeah.
And
I like that.
And I thought, well, I want to use that red, and I'm going to do it for this pumpkin right here. And and I can use that yellow color, like for the words and stuff, and I'll work it out where it'll work. This one right here, and I have a picture of this. You can see it up close. If you don't remember, but this pumpkin, probably won't fill it in like it says. I might just like outline the pumpkin because that might work, or I might need to fill it in because it's red. But down here, I could certainly just do the crisscrossy because that's a red color that's supposed to be in there. So I'll look at the pattern and think about what I want to put in there. I have some lighter colors that this could have been done on, but I'm just loving the way it's looking on this mustard that I thought it would be nice to have another rich color like that. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't put the threads on it yet or really thought about it because I'm still working on this. So that's what I'm thinking there. My other WIP-GO for August, and I know we don't show patterns, but this doesn't have a picture. This is a free pattern from, I'm not going to show it up close, but this is a free pattern from DMC. It's called Black Cat.
Oh yeah.
When I started,
DMC, they're fascinating pattern name.
Yeah, when I started, it was like right here. And I kept trying to pick it up to work on WIP-GO. I kept saying, I can't just sit here and do nothing. Actually, what I started doing was just reading.
Yeah.
I found peace in reading, and so that's what I was doing. But I kept picking this up, and so I finally got this far. This is 18 count fabric that I dyed myself, and I told myself that I hate 18 count and not to pick it up ever again. But, you know, the projects I have started on 18 count, I'm just going to persevere. I'm not going to UFO this, even though I hate this. I love the way this black is looking on this purple fabric. It's beautiful. Yeah. And it's going to have all kinds of things down here. It's got a spider and a spider web and a ghost, and this is supposed to be an eyeball right here, you know, and a piece of candy. I don't know what this red thing is. Is it a drop of blood?
Maybe.
I don't know what it is.
Let me see.
Anyway,
Yeah,
there's some blue drops too. I don't know what the blue drops are. Anyway,
it's weird.
You know, if it takes me 3 years, 4 years, I started this in 2019.
Oh, wow.
So it doesn't matter how long it takes me to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it just...
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, this isn't a thing like those ships. I mean, you know, it's...
Yeah.
It's a solid, yeah.
But it's like that... Oh my God, I'm getting so sick of black. and because the holes are small, I can't really... I don't know. I kept getting it wrong. And
sometimes, you know, when you dye fabric like that, it shrinks the
that might be it.
The holes.
And then I've been working more on, what's that? This is Letters from Santa. It's a little mill pill.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture.
With the dog?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened to the picture, but I have one that we can post here somewhere. I had the blue wrong until I started putting the puppy in. I'm like, his leg and his tail don't fit. That's wrong.
No.
So anyway.
This is the one you took everything out instead of, because she had the orientation wrong. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The ill-fated.
If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck.
Anything worth doing
is worth doing
twice.
45,000 times.
So now it comes to, before I show, well, no, I'll show you what I'm working on. This is one of my WIP-GO challenges for September. This is my progress so far. This is also called Black Cat, but I have it as Art Deco Cat in my stuff.
That's so cool.
And I had in mind to flip the pattern, but since I don't have the pattern in the thing where I can flip it, that might be more trouble than I can go to, but I'm going to maybe still think about flipping it so that I can make two. The fabric, she's going to put up a picture of her cats.
Okay, here's my kitties. They're so cute.
And
so too bad one's not walking by. You could
yeah,
they're with Mark.
Yeah.
So I have enough fabric to do two, I think. And I picked this orange variegated because her cats are variegated.
Orange variegated.
And one is very orange and one is faded, as my mother said.
Yeah, I was thinking about, instead of two strands of the same thing, taking a yellow or something and to make it look lighter.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that. That's too hard.
For Calvin. Is Calvin
the faded one?
Yeah, Calvin's the faded one.
I
always say that because they look exactly the same, except that Calvin's lighter, and like repeat and repeat. But it's like the printer ran out of toner when they made it.
So I'm going to show you this pattern. You've probably seen it 1,000 times. I'm just going to show it to you on here because I think it'll be big enough. And
more touchy.
There it is.
Foxy Fall by Stitching with the Housewives. I didn't bring all my haul with me because I would have needed 10 bags. Okay, retail therapy is better than eating therapy. Okay,
maybe.
But I really liked this pattern when I saw it at when they presented it during their floss tube. And I said, I don't need to buy another pattern. I'm working on so many things. And then I went to Target, and there was this ceramic fox that looked just like this fox.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so cute. And because I needed to look there for the little houses that she finished something else the same size on that, and I was like, oh, I could put a fox on that. Oh, and I found a little gnome that fit on another one, and I was like, So I thought about bringing that, but you would never put it together, so I have to put it together. So this is where I am on that, and I am doing this on.
That's pretty far along.
Yeah, because I enjoy it.
It's cute.
I did not. I don't think I brought the bag that has the color. That has the color of this fabric. It's not white. It's got like little. It looks almost coffee tea dyed.
Yeah.
And I'll have Naomi put it down here, okay? Because I have the color. I just don't know what it is right this moment. And he's just so cute. He's so cute. And Kimberly at Fat Quarter Shop, she did this, and she was doing it at a some kind of baseball game, football game, something her kid was doing. She took it with her, and she was not paying attention, and she picked up a darker teal that she had for a different project. And she's like, I didn't notice till I had it all done that was the wrong color.
Oh no.
And she started a little house with that same color, and she's like, should I redo it? You know, and of course everybody's like, no, just finish doing it. You know, because is it the right color? No. So what? You know. But I am substituting certain colors.
So your tablet's going crazy.
I know it's losing its mind. So I had an orange called Ember, and I said, close enough. I picked up onion skin because I didn't have a color that looked like that. That's on the face and stuff right here. But I think, and I used a different black just because the black coffee that's called for, I don't have a lot of it, and I'm using it on Daisy May, and I thought, you know, I have another black, I'll just use another black. So I just love the way, he's so cute. It's like, okay, yeah, I need that. And then finally I met Lastly. Because I was thinking about Underwater World on Fat Quarter Shop, they showed this fabric, and I went ahead and ordered 2 different versions of it. This one is called Moonstone. And I thought it was darker than this.
That's really pretty though.
But isn't it beautiful? And okay, it's not going. This looks watery to me. I would have to change all the colors, but it's really pretty,
It's
right?
really nice.
And I thought, well, if it's not good for that,
That
it'll
would
be
be
good.
nice on that Santa Claus that I remember I was going to dye the fabric for.
Mm-hmm.
That would look really nice on there.
No, they have them over at Fat Quarter Shop. This is a new release from DMC. They might eventually have it if Hobby Lobby is picking up so much stuff. And then, I don't know if you ordered from DMC, you could get those liquid thimbles.
Liquid what?
The liquid thimbles.
What's that?
It's like a little liquid that you put on your little pad or something that you put on your finger, so that you don't poke a hole through your
we were
finger.
talking about that. Yeah, because my new needles are so sharp.
So this is the one that I thought really would be dark enough, and it is not as dark as it looked to me when she rolled it out. And you know, when they have stuff like this, even though this is printed, it's not, you know, dyed. Even though it's printed, it's still, there's going to be variation, right? This one is called Malachite.
It's hard to see in camera. That's pretty. Let me see if I can get it closer.
Well, the Moonstone, I don't think you could see it on camera either.
Oh, now you can see the variations in there.
But Malachite is very dark, and what I saw her roll out, I thought it was darker. It's a very light green.
It's darker than it appears on the screen, I think.
Yeah.
Like if I put it down here, it looks really blue.
You want to put the Moonstone up there?
Yeah, this is the Moonstone.
That is so
Now
pretty.
you can see it, yeah. A lot better.
Yeah.
So the malachite may work for that. It may not be dark enough.
Yeah, you can't, maybe because there's light coming through it. Like if I held up, oh, sorry for the noise. If I hold up this behind it, maybe you can kind of see the color better because there's no light coming through it. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're both really pretty. They're not, this one is more what I was
Sorry.
expecting. This one wasn't exactly what I was expecting. My other retail therapy was a lot of fabric.
Mm.
And I have a
Fun.
Missouri Star order coming in,
Ooh, what you getting?
a pattern, a quilt pattern. And I bought all the stuff for that pattern last Christmas. And I thought, I may want to do it. I don't know. I might need to wait, but I may want to. So I got the pattern. The pattern is to make, you can make 2 quilts at the same time, or you can make 1 quilt and a whole bunch of table runners. I think they have patterns there for like, I don't know, 6 table runners. I don't need 6 table runners. Not even as gifts do I need that many table runners. But I don't even need another quilt. But I love the fabric that I bought, and I bought everything to go with it. So I went ahead and got that pattern.
What fabric is that?
It was all about Christmas, or
Oh, I remember.
yeah, and I decided to go ahead and get the pattern because of the frustration I had making this bag right here, not having the pattern. I was like, I just like having the instructions, and I got some fancy zips for some fabric I bought, and I bought some really cute fabric. If you're really interested, then I'm planning to make some different type of project bags with. I know I haven't been doing the vinyl front project bags, but I thought, you know, I should do some. And then Missouri Star, whatever their daily deal was, it was some cute fabric. Oh, look, a kitty.
Hello, kitties.
2 kitties.
Come here, sweet boy.
So, you know, it just, I have to stop. But, sorry, Beth, I took longer than I thought.
That's all right.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, hold on 1 second.
Hi, Hops. Hi, Connie. Hi, babies.
Cats came out of the room.
Mark kicked him out.
They were probably itching to get out. He said, be gone.
Cats don't want in or out. They just want the door
They
open.
want
Yeah.
the door open. Yeah.
So, in
Oh, sorry.
August, I had my WIP-GO calls, and they were both new starts. 20 and 25, I think, were the WIP-GO numbers that were new starts. So I had talked about them before. So I had a Pareto Elephants by Janine McGowan of the Blue Flower, and this was in the summer issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. And then I had, it's number 25, I had An Elephant Bescorn You by Tiny Modernist. And so this is Pareto Elephants. I did the 10 days for to reach the goal. So I have part of an elephant over here, but I did the most of the border around it. I just have the one side, and I did one color of this one elephant and the partial other elephant. And I did the banners across the top so that I could make sure that I had the border long enough, you know.
I love that fabric.
So,
it's really nice.
yeah, you know, and this is one that I after I dyed it, I thought, I don't know what I'm ever going to stitch on it because,
I don't like pink.
well, and not only that, but it's a very it's a very dark
Raspberry
color,
sugar.
and it's very, it's a very vibrant color. And I didn't know, what would look good on there. None of the patterns that I had seemed to work for it. So, I didn't really think about it. But then when this came up, because on this, it doesn't really show up well, and so I wanted something that the colors would show up on. And I don't know if you can see it from this distance, but it looks really good on there, I think. So that was 10 days on that Pareto Elephants. And then the other one, Elephant Biscornu, I did basically about half of the Biscornu. It's kind of this one elephant's upside down because of the way it started. I started on the corner. And it's funny, I have cross-stitch dreams a lot of times because I fall asleep while I'm stitching, so and then I end up dreaming about it. And usually my dream goes like I find out that I've, stitched a giant stitch, or I've stitched too far, or I've done, made some major horrible mistake, and then I wake up and fortunately it's not true. But on this, I dreamed that this is on 25 count steel blue Lugana that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I've never used 25 count. But I dreamed that somebody was doing a floss tube and they were showing, like the same pattern on different counts of fabric. So this is what it looks like on 16 count. This is what it looks like on 18 count. Blah, blah, blah. And they held up a piece of 25 count, and it was gigantic. The same design was like gigantic. And I thought, it's not going to fit. It's not going to fit. And I don't know that it will, actually, after I did it, because...
It was your brain telling you the truth.
Yeah, because, I have like just this much, and it may fit, but I'm not positive. So the other day at Hobby Lobby, I bought another piece of this same fabric. So just to...
So you're going to do the back.
Yeah, just to do the back if I have to. Once I finish this, because it has a little border around it, just a single like backstitch line around it, and if I had like done this closer to the edge on this side, it might fit better. But I think since this is the edge, I think that the back will fit on here just as well. But just like I said, to be on the safe side, I bought another piece. But this is basically 2 of the 4 elephants. And they're, I even did, like all their little flower crowns or whatever.
They're very cute.
And so there's 2 more of the little, what do you call it? Quakers, I guess you could call them. And then 2 more elephants, but that's 10 days worth.
What's a Quaker?
These little designs, yeah.
That's so cute. They have shoes.
Mm-hmm.
That's really neat. I like that.
Yeah. So, and like when my father was sick, I stitched like just a little bit on one, so I went ahead and just did another day on that. So
She tried to stitch while she was in there with him, and you just don't have the concentration.
Yeah, I did like one day, but
for me, I had taken the shawl, but what I found is that whatever I knit in memories, and so when I pick it back up, I can think I almost feel the TV show I was watching or whatever, and I thought, I do not want to knit this into this shawl.
Yeah.
So I had it with me the whole week that he was at home on hospice. But I didn't pick it up, and partly because I was zonkered and so exhausted, but also I thought I don't want to. I mean, because I was knitting it in the hospital, but then once we came home, I was like, I don't want, because for me, whatever I'm going through or remembering kind of gets knit into it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, when I first started learning to cross stitch, I did some like little patterns first. And then the next thing I did was a big pattern of the mother swan and two baby swans, the one that's in mom and dad's room. And I still remember there was a TV show that was on, like, I think it was like only 13 episodes or whatever, because it got, it got canceled right away. But so I was watching that show while I was, stitching this thing, and I still remember, certain scenes from that from that show.
Yeah, so you have to be kind of, in some ways, it's you have to think about, like, there was a lady I follow, Roxanne Richardson. Her mother passed away, and she needed something to knit while she went to the funeral and all that. And she goes, but I did not want to. I didn't want whatever I knit. She needed to knit, and they talk about knitting being very therapeutic because you're kind of this monotonous movement. It's bilateral, all that stuff. But she's like, whatever I knit, I don't want to keep. So she made a little baby jacket for someone she knew, so that she knew she could have something to do, but also get rid of it. You know.
Well, I think that's also the idea behind prayer shawls. While you crochet or knit a prayer shawl, it's not that you wear the shawl to pray. While you're knitting or crocheting it, the entire time you're praying for the person that you're going to give it to. And especially if you're going to give it to them for an event that has happened. So that's the whole idea,
So then, I was doing my rabbit for September, and I was looking for
what happened to the one for August?
I still have it. But so I was looking for fabric to do it on, and so I was going through all my rabbits, and actually I stitched some on the August one because I had started it, of course, on the first. I had the first 10 days of August, and I had in the month of August I had 8 new starts because I was doing, what is it called, Ambitious August.
Yeah.
So I just did a whole bunch of new starts because also my WIP-GO calls for August were new starts, and so I just did a whole bunch of new starts. But so I did the August rabbit. I think I only did one day, and I have a couple of months worth of rabbits in this bag here. But I had this one from, I can't remember what month it's from, but I like the way these colors looked on this fabric, so I stuck it on here.
Oh, that looks really nice.
That's
So
ice.
this is September. Yeah, this is Murano Carré Ice from Hobby Lobby. But that's that. I want to keep that thread. I just don't have the thing. But so this is actually going pretty fast, and I have excuse me, 10 days basically, because September has 30 days, and I have 10 days for the goal for my WIP-GO things, and so I have 10 days that are not spoken for. So I'm gonna do a couple of a few days on the August rabbit. I was looking at things and I was thinking, last year for cross stitch camp, that was the first time I used Murano Carré, I think. Because we were supposed to do something you've never done before.
My needle.
That's
my needle.
I thought you dropped this one. So we were supposed to do something you'd never done before, and I'd never used silk before, and I'd never used this Murano Carré. So I did the January rabbit last I think it was last August or something. So that one's done, and then the February and March rabbits are done, and then everything after that is not done. So I thought maybe in the next 10 days I can get a little bit done on each one or whatever, or maybe even finish this one because it's pretty simple. Some of them are pretty simple, and some of them are very complicated. So, excuse me. So I think that's what has determined, and other things I'm doing, I guess, has determined how much of each one I've gotten done. Like this one has a lot of, this same color of green, so I was able to do a lot, and it's easy to get to, to count from, and so I'm making good progress on that one. And then for my August WIP-GO calls, one of them is number 3 and the other one is number 22, I think. And I don't remember which is which off the top of my head. But, so I have the Ship Serenity. This is a Ronnie Rowe Designs from his pen and ink collection. So it's a monochromatic, little pixelated kind of ship, sailing ship. So I think I did a center start. So this is the middle of the picture. So it's
That's
and
big.
it's on this fabric that I dyed myself. It's 28 count
It's gonna be
even
big.
weave or whatever, Lugana, I think it is.
Your friend Monica?
Yeah, my friend Monica. So I've gotten this far on the ship, and it's all in. I think it's 823 DMC. This
The dark
blue
blue?
color. Yeah, it's
Nice.
dark blue. So there's that.
Do you get bored with monochromatic color
No.
patterns?
I
No.
was having trouble with that cat, and I think it was because it was all black that I was
Black.
working on.
Yeah.
But I also had trouble with that pillow thing because I was like, I just can't stitch any more black today.
And the other one is this Running with the Wind, Tall Ships. And this is by, I saw the guy's name, John Oler, I think it is, for Pucker Brush Incorporated. And I don't think they design anymore. What is his name? I think it's John Oler. I don't know. I saw it somewhere.
That pattern's too big.
But so this is like an old, I don't remember what year, 1989
Oh
is
my
the
gosh.
copyright date on this. But anyway, I just have a thing for sailing ships, and it's a kind of an issue for cross stitch because you have to do the sails, and the sails are like tons and tons of white. But anyway, so this is again a center start, and it doesn't really look like anything. You can kind of, if you look real close, you can kind of see like
It's
where
this
the
one here?
masts are. Yeah,
That big one?
yeah, and all that. But so, yeah. So hopefully in 10 days I can get some good progress on there.
You did on the last one.
Yeah, so I have like 4 ship patterns, and they all are on this same fabric. I have the Christopher Columbus, what is it called? Voyage of Discovery, the Nina Pinta, and the Santa Maria. And then I have, what's the other one?
That tall clipper ship thing.
Old Clipper Ship is what it's called, yeah. So they're all older patterns, but and then,
We're old, we still matter.
yeah. So after my dad passed away, I wanted to do, like I did for my mother, I wanted to do a pattern to remember him by. So I did this, and it's pretty simple and pretty quick.
It's cute.
But
It's very sweet.
but one of the songs that we learned it in our family a long time ago, and it was from an older hymnal that we had. But it's called Wayfaring Stranger, and so I used a couple of lines from that, and one of the lines is I'm just going over Jordan, I'm just going over home. So that's the idea that I use. So there's one sheep by himself, and then the river, and then a whole bunch of sheep over here. So these sheep are my mom, and my dad's parents, and my dad's siblings. And there's one little tiny sheep over here because he had a brother that died as a child. So that's the little sheep. And then these fish, I put some fish in the river here, and the fish represent us, my brother, Eve, and her son, me, Naomi, and her husband, Mark, and her kids. So they're the fish in the river here. So, and then my dad's name and dates are on there. So I did that, and I have a couple other ideas in my head that I want to do also. So, but then I also engaged in some retail therapy. So we went to the attic, and I got this bag, and I didn't really need to because I have a whole bunch of them at home. But
I bought a bag too, but I didn't shop it.
But so I went to the attic, and then I also went to Tempe Yarn and Fiber with Naomi, and of course I bought some stuff while I was there because why not? Anyway, so the attic, I also bought this Stitcher's lotion.
We finally have it back in stock. I'm
Yeah.
so happy to see it.
Yeah.
They've probably been
Ooh,
trying all
borrow
this
some right
time.
now. Can I borrow it right
Yeah. I also have this one that I bought at Tempe Yarn and Fiber. But so at Tempe Yarn and Fiber, I bought this little bag,
How cute.
this little project bag or whatever. I don't remember what project I was looking at that I just like had DMC just thrown in there. Didn't have a little bag in there. But then I also bought a pair of scissors because I have a problem.
Oh, those little.
Yeah, these little polka dot snips, and they
Can I
have
borrow
a
this one?
Huh?
Can I borrow this
Either
one?
one, yeah. But these have a little curved,
Oh,
end.
it's nice.
Yeah, I bought some at Hobby Lobby the other day. When I bought this is that steel blue fabric that I bought. It's they're a Hobby Lobby brand, Artiste. But this is and they have a neutral it's called oatmeal or something like that color. But I like the colors. But then I also bought these little beads at Tempe Yarn and Fiber, just because they looked to me a little nautical, and I keep telling myself I need to make those. I have some nautical charms that I want to make into scissor bobs that I keep putting it off, and I like those, so I think I'm going to use them. And then also, while I was there, I bought this little sheep charm, and I think I'm gonna put it on that
On Dad's pattern?
on Dad's pattern. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
cute.
They had those little round sheep like I had on Mom's pattern, but they only had pink ones. So I got this little sheep. And then when I was at the attic, the other thing I did was I bought some patterns that I didn't need to buy, of course, but why not? So the latest in the Cottage Garden Samplings series, A Year in the Woods. This is the woodpecker. Really pretty.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
really
and
neat.
looks like he's got a fish, but I don't know if that's supposed to be a fish that he's holding.
Yes, it's a fish. See his little eye?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, what the fish? But do woodpeckers eat fish? I thought they eat bugs. I don't know. Maybe it's bark. I don't know.
I think it's a piece of bark.
Yeah,
It looks like a fish to me.
it looks like a fish.
With the tail.
No, I think it's a.
I don't know.
It's weird.
But then I bought this Brenda Gervais Autumn's Acorn Gathering because it's got little fat squirrels, and one of them is wearing pants. There's a one squirrel wearing an apron and has an acorn. It looks like an acorn around her neck, like a pendant. And then there's a male squirrel with pants and a tie, suspenders. And then This is a Blackbird Designs from the Loose Feathers series, The Last Ripe Berries. And so it's a bird.
Oh, that's
Really pretty. Yeah. And then it comes with like an alphabet you can to personalize your sampler. And then Chessie and Me, this is a pattern bunny sampler, and after I bought it I thought, do I already have this one? I don't know. But it's really cute. The picture's very tiny, it's hard to see. But I really like it. So I didn't buy any of the threads. I didn't even look at them because I have some, and I may or may not buy any threads to go with it. But you know, and this one, this Chessie and Me was on sale, so that was really nice.
So there you go.
Yeah.
A little justification there.
Yeah. So
Those noteworthy needle thimble boxes, they have them for birthstones, and they have them for birth months, I think.
Oh, nice.
I didn't like the birthstone one because I've never liked my birthstone, but the other August one they had was really pretty. I was like, can I do another tiny little box?
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
At the attic, they had a whole bunch of patterns that were like half off, and I really, really wanted to sort of like go through them all and and find something. And there's probably some really great things in there. Like I said, I found that Chessie and Me, and it's originally like $7, and it was like half off or something. So yeah, I really wanted to go through that, but I thought if I go through those things, because there was a whole bunch, bins and
You'll
bins
never
and
get
bins,
out of there.
and I thought I'll spend $1 billion and I'll never get out of there. And so I had to restrain myself from doing that.
I didn't see
But
it.
yeah, it was back in the back corner kind
Yeah,
of.
I talked to Jean for a minute, and
Yeah.
then I ordered the patterns I wanted, and then got a couple threads. I didn't really look around very much.
But so yeah, well I was looking for something.
That's a cat knocking on the door, in case you're wondering what the banging is.
I was looking for something. What is it called? Luminous Fiber Arts has a series of patterns. Mousecapades. And they're really, really cute.
Sounds like right up your alley.
Yeah, I've been meaning to look into that, but I just haven't. And either they didn't have them, or I didn't see them. There at the attic, and so
It's probably just as well you didn't see them.
yeah. So I may just go ahead and go to Mindy Brachel's website and order them from there, just so I can look at them all and see them all and whatever. So and order them all. Huh?
And order all of them.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. So
So that's you.
yeah.
Time for stories.
Yes.
I have a couple. So last weekend, my son was here, and it was Sunday morning, and he's like, I can't find my AirPod chargers, right? So he's got AirPods, little Bluetooth speakers, right, for Apple, and they come in a little white box charger like this, and so you charge the box, and then you put the headphones in the box to charge the headphones, right? He couldn't find it, and I said, well, maybe it fell out in your dad's car when he brought you home, and we looked in the car, and we looked all over his room. Sorry, my phone is ding-dinging. And we couldn't find him anywhere. And I even messaged my nephew over at their house, like, can you look for these? Like, maybe he dropped it when we were over there. Couldn't find him. And last ditch effort, I went to the couch where he kind of hangs out, and I pulled one cushion out. It's a new couch, right? So I don't know the ins and outs of the couch yet. It's not new, but it's relatively new. So I pulled and he's standing at the back of the couch, and I'm standing in front of the couch, and I pull the cushion out, and there it is, sitting kind of like this up against the back of the couch, under the cushion, where the cushions were, and the back cushion is attached, right? So you can't move those. So I said, "Oh, there it is." So he leaned over the back of the couch, and with his fingers kind of like this, went to grab it, and when he did that, it went bloop inside. And I was like, I didn't know there was an inside. So I was like, okay. And I thought, okay, maybe it fell down underneath. So we tipped the couch back, and there's that, they have that fabric. It's almost like paper fabric.
Yeah.
No, it's completely sealed. And we hear it tumble, 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 tumble. And we're trying to get it there was an edge, and then it fell beyond that edge, and then there was even like another kind of wooden compartment crevice back there. And I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do. So we went to church, and then when we came back, he was gonna go home that afternoon, right? So we were like, we tipped it upside down, we tipped it back this way, we could hear it falling, but and there was like, it was like where the seat is, it's like very firm fabric, and it has a bar, and then it has periodically these elastic things that are holding it really tight in there, so you can push it a little bit. I was hurting my hands trying to push it and see if I could get my fingers in there, or see if I could get a grabber in there, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I cannot do this. So finally I said to my husband, I'm like, I think I'm going to have to cut it open from underneath. And anyone who has cats knows that cats love that fabric, right? Because they get under there, and eventually they rip it, and then they get inside, and they hide in there, and you know how cats are. And fortunately, so when we turned it over, we realized that this one has some pokes in it, but it's still intact. And I was like, I do not want to rip a hole in this, because we'll never get the cats out of there, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm going to perform couch surgery. So we took an X-Acto knife and kind of like not near the edge, right? So up a little so that there was some give, because it's a little bit loose, right? I cut a slit, I reached in there, grabbed the thing out, and then I remembered that in my various sewing things, I had upholstery needles, which are shaped like that. Yeah. And so I took one of those and black thread, and I, like a surgeon, I stitched that thing, so it has a scar now, but it's intact, and it looked. I'm like, hey, it looks pretty good. It looks like like an ugly scar, but I was like, okay, it'll keep the cats out for a little while. He has his AirPod charger,
and you have an intact couch that the
and
cats...
now I know that be very careful what you drop back there, because it's going to go inside. Any change that's dropped in that couch is going to be in there forever. So one day when I'm hard up for cash, I'm going to go and cut open the bottoms and find all the cash in there. But that was crazy. I was like, oh no, I don't want to ruin my new couch.
That's what I was say when I moved out of my apartment, when I came out here, that I don't think at some point I was searching for stuff or whatever, and so I had run like a yardstick underneath the refrigerator, and found all these little cat toys and various things. And I was thinking at some point, I don't remember what made me think of that, but like when I moved out here, I did not do that. Like, last minute when you're cleaning and everything else, I thought, I don't think I cleaned out from under the refrigerator, so whoever moved into my apartment,
got new cat toys.
Yeah.
So, I have a story that involves Beth. I have been having some issues with my hips. As a matter of fact, I have been concentrating on trying to move a little bit so that I can stand up later. So I my doctor got an order for me to go get some x-rays of my hips. Well, and also, some other routine examinations. And I made an appointment for this other examination and wanted to get the x-ray at the same time. And I arrived early for that appointment and told them what I wanted. And they said, okay. My appointment was at 2, and I think I got there at like 1:15.
And because x-rays you can't have an appointment for.
No, this company does not
in.
make appointments for x-rays. And where I tried to get it somewhere closer, this appointment, but they sent me it took a very long time to get there. It's the only one, I could have waited weeks and gotten it closer to me, but I wanted the hip x-rays sooner rather than later because I'm in pain. And so I hadn't eaten lunch. And I had this other test, and they're waiting, I'm waiting. It was like 4 o'clock, and I was so hungry. I felt like my stomach was like clenching because I was so hungry. And I must have eaten a very light breakfast too, so I was really hungry. And I'm looking, and there is nobody really besides me there. There weren't a whole lot of people in that facility to begin with. And because I wasn't there when he was ready to do my x-ray to fit me in, because I was doing that other test, they stuck me at the back of the line. And I finally went up to them and said, I cannot wait any longer. I just can't. I left there about 4. So I had been there hours, right? So
I hate them.
Yeah.
So
So
every
Tuesday,
time I've been there, it's horrible.
Beth and I had some errands to run, and so I said, well, I need to go get this x-ray. Do you want to go with me? And she said, yeah, and then we could go run these errands, right? Hobby Lobby being one of them. Mm-hmm. Not utmost important, but she wanted to go. And so when I arrived at this place for the x-ray, I found a handicapped spot in the shade, and I asked Beth if she wanted me to leave the car running with the air conditioner on. She said, no, we're in the shade and I can just open the windows and I'll be all right.
And also because I knew that the x-ray could take who knows how long, and so I thought, I don't want to leave the car running because I don't know how long she'll be in there.
Well, anyway, I left the keys there with her just in case. Mm-hmm. So I went in and I spoke to the person that was doing the intake stuff, and I said, what is the wait like for x-rays right now? And she said, about half an hour to 45 minutes. And I thought about it and I thought, well, okay, I can do that. And recently Beth had to have some x-rays before and after an MRI, and she actually got in and out pretty quickly. Different facility, same company. And I said, okay, and I went and sat down. And I stitched for a while, then I got bored of doing that, and I'm looking at the clock. Now, I arrived there about 10 o'clock, maybe 10:10. After 11 o'clock, I went up there and said, how much longer is it going to be? Oh, well, you're next. Do I have time?
Well, and she had texted me.
And I texted her and said, it shouldn't be too much longer.
Yeah, because I was out there and it was, because like I had the windows open. So, every once in a while the breeze would go through it. It was pretty good. It was okay. And I was in the shade. I wasn't like, directly in the sunlight. But then when she texted me and said that she was next or whatever, I thought, because I was debating, well, should I turn the car on? Should I not? Whatever. So, and since she said she was next, I thought, well, it'll be okay.
Well, and so I went and sat down again, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. 45 minutes go by, and I went up to them and I'm like, when am I going to be called back? You said I was next. People had been going in and out, some of whom I heard saying x-ray, and they didn't have to wait. I saw them leaving, and I'm like, what is going on? And so she said, well, he's just finishing up with this person, and then he'll get you. So after 12 o'clock, he calls me back in. And I told him, I said, I have been waiting here for 2 hours. He goes, I'm really sorry. I wanted to say, I don't want your sorry. This is not acceptable, you know? And so I finished up. I walked out. Beth was just about to go inside, and I looked at her. She looked like she was having heat stroke. And I'm like, why didn't you go inside earlier? I'd left her the keys and everything. And we went to Target, and she tried to cool off in there, and she still just couldn't cool off. And I'm like, this could have been really bad, you know?
Yeah.
And granted, Beth is an adult, and she had the keys. She could have locked up the car and gone anytime. But because they told me I'm next, and I had said it shouldn't be too much longer, she didn't. Of course, it was an hour after that text that I finally got called back.
It's awful.
They made the mistake of asking me for a survey. Yeah, I gave them 1 star. And then because I gave them such a low star, they sent me a follow-up email. And I responded with an email this long. You know, I'm like, okay, if your policy is no appointments for x-rays, then you have to get people in there sooner. Mm-hmm. You cannot make people take a whole day off of whatever they're doing. I said, I had other things to do that day.
Just make appointments. I don't know why they don't. It would be so much faster if they made appointments.
Or once you check in for an x-ray, they make an appointment time right there. Okay, you're going to get in at this appointment time. You know, doctors' offices, well, my doctor anyway, they have appointments. They schedule appointments. They try to schedule a whole day. They don't want doctors sitting around with nothing to do. That doesn't make money, right? But they have sick appointments. So they have times during the day that they can put you in if you need to see the doctor that day. So theoretically, that's what they're doing with x-rays, but it's not. It's, let's just wait until there's nothing else to do, and then we'll take that x-ray. And I heard them talking about some machine that they'd been having problems with, and so they were really far behind on that. Not my problem. I didn't need the stupid machine.
Or at least come to you and say,
it's going to be really long.
Yeah.
Do you still want to wait? And I would not have, because Beth was in the car. Had I gone by myself, I probably wouldn't be as livid as I was.
Well, you know, like, so there's a lab here in town that you can do a walk-in and you expect to wait, or you can make an appointment. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't see why they can't do that. Why they don't do that.
It is, and that was one of the things. I'm like, you've got to do better. If you refuse to take appointments for x-rays, you've got to do better. Mm-hmm. Because if somebody has thinks they might have a broken arm, they'll go to the ER and they'll get the test right away, right? Mm-hmm. But other things like this, by the time I got called back, I could not stand up. Mm-hmm. And I was walking all peg-leg like this because my hips were not working properly. And it was because I was sitting in that type of chair for that long. And, you know, at home, I try not to sit for very long. And it's just bad customer service, bad patient care. And I said at the end of that response in that email, I said, it doesn't matter how nice your receptionists are. And it doesn't matter how nice your techs are. If you've had to, they've made you wait 2 hours.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how nice they are.
Yeah.
They can be as nice as possible. I've still been waiting there 2 hours. Mm-hmm. I'm already mad by the time I go back. So if anything was going to happen that went wrong, I'd be even more angry. There was a woman waiting And she kept getting up and pacing around and sitting down and getting up and pacing around. That's how I knew the thing was broken, because they told her that they were having trouble with it. She goes, well, I tried to come before. She goes, yeah, I know it was broken before, but it's good now. We're just behind.
Ugh.
She finally went up to them and said, I need to make a different appointment. I cannot stay here any longer. I've already canceled one appointment later.
Gosh.
You know, people don't have that kind of time to sit there.
It's terrible.
Well, it's like that. What is it? The CenturyLink guy that they said, he's coming tomorrow between 8 in the morning and 5 in the afternoon.
It's 7 to 5.
Yeah.
I have an appointment with CenturyLink. I
That's
need to
all
be
freaking
there
day.
with an adult there from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. I had to make an appointment for something else that day. I didn't have any choice. So my son is going to have to be there whether he likes it or not. But, you know, it's just... And one of the things that I had to go do afterward, and keep in mind, I had lost my dad very recently. One of the things I had to go do was go back to a store to return something I bought for the bedding that we didn't use. And these things cause anxiety in you anyway. So you're just sitting there going,
Yeah, it makes it so much worse.
Yeah. So I blathered on long enough about that. But Beth almost had heat stroke because of it. But that was her own fault because she didn't come inside.
Well, you know, it's one of those things that I kept thinking, well, should I go in? Should I not? Should I go in? Should I not? Is she going to come out in a minute now or whatever? And actually, at one point, before you came out, I looked in the mirror, because I kept glancing in the mirror. Is she coming out? Is she coming out? And I thought, I could have sworn I saw you, but it was somebody else who was wearing something similar, I guess. Because actually, when you did come out, you were wearing different colors or whatever than I thought you were wearing. So I saw this person and I thought, oh, that's Eve. And then I didn't see you and the person anymore. And I thought, wait, I thought you was right there. But I was at that point about to go inside or start the car or something.
In the email, I didn't mention that you were in the car getting heat stroke. They responded back to me, we'll send this to the necessary departments. Yeah, nothing's going to happen because they've been doing this like this forever. And you know, anytime you get a thing that says, okay, you need to go to Simon Med, the words, you go, oh.
Yeah. It's awful.
Yeah. You just, if you can make an appointment, you will get in and out of there in a reasonable amount of time, usually.
Well, that's the problem that I always face when I get my MRIs because of my shunt. It's magnetic.
For something like that, where you have to have a required X-ray before and after, why can't they schedule them?
They still make her wait.
Yeah, they still make me, and excuse me,
it's awful.
And,
we've established that they're awful. I don't think we need to beat the dead horse.
Yeah. Well, you know what? For my hand, I was actually surprised. I had an MRI of my hand because I have a lump, and so the doctor wanted to do an MRI, and so I didn't think I would have to do an X-ray because it's my hand, it's not my head. But then they said, "Oh no, but because you have that shunt." So I'm like, "Oh!" So then they had to squeeze me in to get the X-ray or whatever, and of course I had to wait, and then they had to squeeze me back in because I missed the appointment for my MRI. And, it was just.
And then she almost didn't get the follow-up X-ray because they were closing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I had another appointment, and I had to cancel mine because I had, she wasn't expecting that appointment to take that long. Neither was I. So
now
you said you had another story?
I don't remember. No, I'm talking about medical scheduling. I'm supposed to have this loop recorder placed, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a implantable heart monitor that records, what do you call it? Arrhythmias.
Mm-hmm.
And originally they had said it would be August 30th maybe, but they didn't know and they were going to call me. So then they called me while Dad was home in hospice, and and they said we could do it August 30th, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on in my life. I can't commit to that. Mm-hmm. Plus, it's my son's birthday, and I thought if I had that, it would, I might not feel good and all that. So I was like, no. I just said, I'll call you. So I called them today, and she was like, okay, we can do it on the 13th. September. And I said, okay. I said, what are the restrictions of that? And she was like, you can't lift your arm above your shoulder for like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. And you can't lift anything heavy, bassoons. And I was like, okay. And I said, well, I'm having a CT of my heart done on the 15th. And usually when you're in a CT scanner, you know, they make you put your arm. So I don't know. I said, I don't know if that's going to require that. And she's like, well, you know, probably we don't want to do that. Let's see if we can do it after. So then she's looking at dates later in September. And then I said, oh, on October 1st, I'm going fishing, which is mostly this arm, but I'm going to be climbing in and out of a boat. And, you know, it's like, she's like, no, I don't think he's going to want you to do that. So then then she's like, okay. I'm like, okay, put it off into October. And then I was like, but on October 4th, we have a concert. So maybe we should do it after that. Because I've already missed so much orchestra. We missed 2 weeks already of orchestra. So I was like, I don't want to have it on. And then she's like, oh, the only day we could do it is October 4th. And maybe like, hey, Brian, I'm going to miss the concert. So anyway, so it's like, so sometime after October 4th, I'm going to get this thing done. And then I was like, could you, like, I'm like, and then I thought, Hobbs the baby is going to be very upset because this is the shoulder he likes to sit on.
He'll just have to get over it for a while.
And he likes to crawl up here and sit here, and he wants me to hold him. So, anyway, that'll be a fun adventure.
You won't be able to carry all your junk over to our house.
I won't be able to carry my backpack to work. So I'm like, what am I going to, because I have a big old backpack I take to work, so I'm going to have to figure something else out.
Shoulder strap bag that can go on the other side.
Yeah, it can. And
Speaking of cats being babies, you know, usually Snug is the one who snuggles up and, you know, lies beside me on the bed or whatever. And poor Puck gets very jealous. But and especially like if I, you know, if Snug's fussling around or bugging, you know, I'll invite him over and have him lie down beside me. And so then I see Puck, sometimes he's in the cat tree and he's like, oh, what are you doing? And so he comes over there because I've got Snug right here, you know. And so he comes and I'm lying on my side and he'll come up on my side like this. And he sticks his face, he rubs his face all over me. You know. And so, but like I was trying to stitch and he was getting my light and so I'm like, get off. Or he was slipping, and you know, and so I felt bad because like I'm always like pushing him off of me, and Snug is very kind of insistent on, you know, and so I'm usually giving in to Snug and pushing Puck away or whatever. So today, you know, Puck was over there like trying to get in the corner, so you know I was letting him, but at one point. He was lying on my pattern, and it's got like it was kind of getting scrunched under him, and it's got like a little cut here because he was going.
Oh no!
So I was like,
sounds familiar, but it wasn't my pattern. It was just the picture. Well, the pattern got bent a little bit, but it's mostly the picture.
Doggo. We better go.
Yeah, we better
go.
go.
Yakking.
I have to go.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for sticking in with us during this difficult time, and thanks for all the well wishes and prayers and thoughts, and we really appreciate it, and we felt very supported. So thank you so much for that. Tune in next week. We'll be back. And we thank you so much for all your support. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know how to do it anymore.